Hello everyone, welcome back to the United Stand and welcome to Inside the Allianz Arena. This is Bayern Munich's press box. Now, you'd have been watching videos of the behind the scenes training coverage of Bayern Munich, my commentary on that, my comments on how everything here at Bayern Munich is state of the art. Oh, state of the art, yes, it's not one of the newest stadiums around, but it is it's a stadium that you'd expect a big club to have. And inside here, oh my God, it doesn't let it down. It just carries on that theme all the way through, as everything has been on this trip with Bayern Munich, the training facilities, the way the staff treat you, the access we get. I mean, I'll put it into context. I'll say exactly how it has been since we've got here. Bayern Munich organised press conference and open training on time, efficient. Yes, it's their home turf and that works easy for them. But yeah, that all went on time, got great coverage, we got a little bit extra time on the training ground. We turn up here at the stadium, we get fed, we get drinks, we get looked after. We got 20 minutes with Tuchel on his own, and then we got 20 minutes with Harry Kane on his own. Manchester United roll in an hour late, rush through a press conference with Ten Hag and Onana. You've seen it all already. You've seen the questions that was asked, you've heard my questions that were asked. Honestly, I came out of that press conference like feeling like, okay, I'd had a day with Bayern Munich and I'd seen everything that was good within Bayern Munich and I needed something back. I needed a little bit of positivity. First question that came out was, yes, Mount, Varane, we heard they were back in training, bang, dead in the water, not available. That was quashed, so that kind of just drained any sort of hope away in there. Then you look at the squad, the amount of defenders we've got travelling, the amount of goalkeepers we've got travelling just to make up an actual Champions League squad. Manchester United making up a Champions League squad. And yes, we have got a lot of injuries, and they will come back eventually, but you have to look at this in the predicament we're in. We're up against a team here that's got 34 games unbeaten in the group stage level at home in the Champions League, the longest run in Champions League history. 31 wins, 3 draws. That's Bayern Munich here at the Allianz Arena. If it wasn't uphill enough, United could have their full strength team and we could be in top form and this would still be an uphill challenge. This is like trying to climb Mount Everest, going back down and being told you've left something at the top and you've got to go back up again just to try and get a draw. That's what we're up against here in Bayern Munich. Players coming back for them. I mean, Kingsley Coman was talking to one of the Bayern reps. Kingsley Coman's back in just to add insult to injury. Yeah, and like he may not start a game, but just to see a team and the squad size that Bayern have got from the coverage we gave you that you've already seen the video of, and then see players coming back to that. I mean, Musiala. I mean, Sane, Coman, Muller, Kimmich, Kane. I mean, I can go on and on and on and on. The players that this team have got, the way this club is run, and then we speak to Tuchel, and he's efficient, educated, on point, knows exactly what he's doing, how he's answering every single question. Why? Because they're structured and organised. And again, I don't want to be downbeat, but this is everything that United is at the moment. There's not much to encourage you. All we can hope for is that these players turn up on the pitch tomorrow night and actually put in a performance. We may not get the result. Yeah, we may not get the result. It's same as many other teams that have come here. You're expecting to get beat by a big unit like Bayern Munich. It is going to be a rare feat if Manchester United get anything out of this game. So for me, I'm more on like a positive from a performance. And individuals come through and had a great game, or we look like we've got a little bit of a connection in midfield. We've shored up and we've held Bayern Munich out for a certain amount of time. We look like we've got a threat on the counter-attack. Do you know what I mean? Camaraderie between a couple of different players in an area, something like that. That's what I'm clutching. It is a very, very thin straw, to be honest, that I'm clutching at. But that is exactly where Manchester United are at right now in terms of what hope we've got going into any game right now. And Brian taught us a lesson. Brian taught us a lesson at Old Trafford, Bayern Munich, and then we've got Burnley at weekend, a different challenge again. There isn't much confidence going into any of them games anymore, and it's going to be a big, big task for United to try and drag themselves off the floor. I mean, Ten Hag in his press conference, I mean, from what he was saying, I'm stuck between process and results, and I think that's what I got from that. He still doesn't know his best team. When asked about Haaland, it's a process about adapting him in, and that's just started now. So that's another process on top of the process, which is Manchester United right now from the start of last season. A team that he's actually said, Ten Hag, he's only ever had his full squad to pick from once in the whole time he's been here. the amount of injuries we've got, the issues going on off the pitch with certain players on the right-hand side. I'm not going to mention any names because we all know who they are. And then you've got the fan base, which now is starting to wonder what is going on. You've got people calling for Ten Hag's head stupidly. The man knows what he's doing. The man has got a plan. But it's what's coming down on top of him right now, the managing above, the managing below, that is stopping him implement that plan. You just want Man United to be able, you want Ten Hag to be able to pick from a full squad. You want him to be able to have every player at his disposal, and that doesn't seem like it's ever going to happen with United. It's one thing after another. A suspension, an injury, an issue off the pitch, someone being isolated for not following the rules, the structure, and you know what, the standards. He calls for standards. I asked Tuchel in the press conference about standards. I even asked him about the way that Ten Hag has dealt with some key high-profile players. And Tuchel's response was that I used to love that aspect of managing in England because the manager was the biggest voice. Now, I thought about it. When he answered that question, I thought, you know what, that's a good thing. And then I thought, no, actually, well, if you think about it, it's kind of not, because you come here and he's not the one man in charge. Yes, he runs the show, but above, they already know what they want. They've brought Tuchel in to fit their structure and their system, and in that bracket altogether, their standards. And that's why Tuchel is here, and he knows his role. Now, having power in the Premier League, like Tuchel said, and being the biggest voice, yeah, a lot of people have brought that up recently under Ten Hag, in terms of, have we given him too much power in the transfer market? How are we giving him too much power and bringing players in that are then going to just isolate certain other players? I'm just going to bring up the example of Anthony and Sancho, and like how Anthony keeps starting, even if he isn't playing very well. A lot of people have picked up on that. Honestly, I'd play Anthony over Sancho anyway, so I'm with Ten Hag on that. But I do understand the debate and the argument that other fans have got, like players are going to start getting knocked off when he's playing his favourite players he's brought in. But ultimately, it's gone past the favouritism sort of style of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He's dealt with players that aren't good enough for Manchester United, but the club can't deal with getting them players out of the way for Ten Hag to move forward. That's where he's at with this team. That's where he's at in terms of getting his best team on the pitch. It's like you always have that fear with Manchester United. The player comes into the football club for playing a certain way. He's got an attribute that we really like, and for some reason Manchester United try and change that attribute and turn him into something that we didn't even want to buy in the first place. There's a lot of players in this team that are like that. Andre Onana was with Erik Ten Hag in the press conference yesterday, and again, I'm not seeing Andre Onana come off his line, come out of his box that much this season. I'm thinking, this is why we brought this guy in. I thought we were going to play a higher line, and he was there to sweep up behind, that extra bit of security. He just seems to be a bit timid, and I'm hoping that that's not another player. I mean, you've got the fans going in on Bruno, fans going in on Rashford. And I can understand sometimes Ten Hag in how he gets critiqued for not substituting players off. His in-game management at times is a little bit of a concern. But going into games like this, it's like a free hit for Manchester United. I can't believe the German press and the media here are calling out like this is a massive, massive game. The reality, and if you ask yourself deep down as a United fan, is it's not. It's a mismatch. In terms of attitude and mentality and standards, United and Bayern Munich are night and day right now. It's a completely different setup, and I just think the expectation levels from what Bayern are expecting from United are one of a history factor in terms of Manchester United and what they used to be. I mean, there were 2 questions asked about the '99 Champions League final. I mean, these guys actually still think that Manchester United are big. Yeah, they can see the table and it's not doing well, but in terms of European stature, Manchester United and these parts are still a big, big fish. And this will be a big win for Bayern Munich tomorrow. We're going into this thinking we've already lost. That's what I'm thinking. That's how I'm going into this. We have already lost. I can't believe as a United fan I'm thinking that way. But I just do not see from what I've seen. I was punishing myself really on walking around Bayern and the training ground, the facilities here and everything, the way that this club is run. It is like pure torture. Because United should be here. We are at this level. This is where we should always be. And we was. And we've lost it. And now nights like this are a big reminder of what has happened to this football club and how far we have dropped. That is where we're at. In terms of the actual game itself, I've probably talked here for about 10 minutes and not even mentioned who I would pick. I don't think it matters. And that is a damning comment on its own. It does not matter who is available. We're injury strapped. I think it's going to be the same back four. Midfield, I think that's going to be the same because that's all we've got available. No Mount, no Amrabat. McTominay, does he come in? Do we go back to the 4-3-3? Is he going to try the diamond again? Bayern Munich wanted McTominay. There's an interesting subplot to all of this. But ultimately, I can't see the team changing much from what was at weekend. Is he going to bring a Garnacho in or Palestre? I doubt it. Honestly, I haven't got the answer to that question. I can give my thoughts on what I think it will be, and I think it will be pretty much exactly the same as it was against Brighton. He's done that once already this season. I think he'll do it again, honestly. But yeah, the task at hand here for Manchester United is one of massive. It's massive. Let's just call it massive, because United don't stand a chance if Bayern turn up. It's as simple as that. And that's the only way I can finish this video off. That's where I'm at. And I'm sorry if it's downbeat. I'm sorry if I'm being too real. But real right now is all we can be. Are we going to get surprised? Are United going to turn up tomorrow and bring the biggest shock in European football? Because that's what this would be. No matter who United are and what our name is and our history is, if we beat Bayern tomorrow, this is going to send shockwaves across Europe, I feel. Do I think it's going to happen? Honestly, no, I don't. I really don't. But guys, let me know what you think. Who are you picking? Who are you most scared of in that Bayern team? There's another one for you. And the third one, what is your score prediction? Dare I ask? But guys, cheers for tuning in. I will see you after the game. Don't know where we stood. Don't know what I'm going to be talking about. But I've got a funny feeling there'll be a little bit of critique. And I may be a bit upset. Cheers for watching, everyone. Andre, you've had a good start here at Manchester United. The fans admire your passion. Is that important to you? And also, have you had added extra expectation after replacing the boots of David De Gea, one of the most established players here at Manchester United? Some would even call a legend of the football club. Have you handled that okay?
Hi. Well, I'm very passionate player, and I demand a lot for my players and my defenders. But like I always said, we are in this together. Being part of this big club is something great. Manchester United is an amazing club. It's huge. I'm happy to be here. Replace David is not something easy. I'm trying to do my best. Of course, the start of the season is not what we want, but better days will come. The situation will turn, and I'm very confident. I know everything will be all right.
Quick one just for Eric. Eric, last time you were in the Champions League, you were praised for your style of play with Ajax, almost getting to the final. Is that important in this competition? Is that a frustration of yours that some have critiqued your style of play, that you haven't quite got it yet here at Manchester United?
First part I didn't hear. Can you repeat it?
Huh? Can you hear that? No, sorry. Last time you was in Champions League with Ajax, you was praised for your style of play, almost getting to the final with Ajax. There's been some critique that we still haven't got an actual style of play at Manchester United. Is that the biggest frustration, the injuries, the constant changing, never being able to have that established team? Do you need that in this type of competition?
One thing is true. I think from the start last season, I think I almost never started with the best, I would say, in my opinion, the best start 11. There was always something like an injury. So, but you have to deal with it. And I think we always got the results in, apart from the period where we are now. So, and that is football, and there's always part. And I have the experience in the past. I managed it in the past. It's not always going up. And you have to deal with it, and it's also I like these situations because now we have to handle it, and we have to manage this, and so you have to know what to do, and that is focusing on the process.